right? So we learned two kinds of Sandhi of tones. The first one is the third tone Sandhi, 三声变调, the changing of tones for the third tone. So in brief, a third tone Sandhi rule is like this. So if a third tone syllable is followed another third tone syllable, so the first one, its tone change into second tone, right? So for example, like 你好, so this 你 is a third tone syllable, right? So if 你 is followed by another third tone syllable, like 好, then this 你 is tone change into second tone. So in actual pronunciation, it is pronounced as 你好. So this 你 change into second tone. So this is the third tone Sandhi, the third tone Sandhi, 三声变调. And also we learned another Sandhi of tones, which is Sandhi of bu, right? So bu means not. And its rule of Sandhi of bu can be described as this. So if bu is followed by a first tone, second tone, and a third tone syllable, there's no change in tones. But if bu is followed by another fourth tone syllable, so its tone changing to second tone, right? So like this example, like 不吃, 不来, 不好. So in these cases, 不 is followed by respectively the first tone, second tone, and third tone syllable, and there's no change in tones. But this one, we pronounce that as 不去, because this 不 is followed by another fourth tone syllable, so its tone changing to second tone. Okay, so these are the very important pronunciation knowledge concerning with tones we learned in last class. Okay, so let's do some pronunciation exercises of lesson 4. So the first one is still about the tone practice. So please listen carefully and discriminate the tones. So choose the one you hear in each pair. As you can see, there are several pairs. And each pair, so they are like two syllables. And the only difference between these two syllables are the tones. You can see like this one, xi and xi. So I will read one of these syllable. Each one will be read 2 times, and then you circle the one you hear. Okay, so focus on the tones, please. Okay, let's begin. The first line. Xi, xi. Next one. 雪，雪。鱼，鱼。野，野。不，不。Okay, next line. 韩，韩。法，法。太，太。同，同。英，英。Okay, so now please check the answers to see whether you have you get the correct syllable, okay, in each pair. Okay, and now we will read all these syllables in each pair, okay? And you can make comparison between these two tones and feel the difference by yourself, okay? Okay, please read after me all these syllables. 西，喜，学，雪，雨，鱼，野，野。不，不。韩，汉。法，法。太，台。同，统。营，英。Okay, so this is just an exercise about tones, okay? And we will also do two other phonetic exercises in our textbook. So please open the book and turn to page 27. Okay, let's see. There's like two other phonetic exercises in lesson 4. Okay, so the first one is listen and read the following syllables. And you can see there is kind of comparison between two similar initials, like the first one, bo and the po. And now I believe that you can tell the difference between this bo and the po, right? So po is aspirated initials, right? And the bo is non-aspirated, right? So that's the difference between these two initials. And similarly, de and the te, so te is aspirated, and ge and ke, so the second one, ke is aspirated. So you can see in each group, so there's kind of bian pao. So there's a initial syllables begin with initials bo and po. And when you pronounce these two syllables, you can feel by yourself about difference between them and make comparison. Okay, now I will play the recording and please read after the recording. Okay.
第4课，你学习法语吗？第1部分，学习语音。语音练习。
1. 听读下面的音节：波、坡、鞭炮、普遍、陪伴、跑步、的、特、代替、态度、特点、跳动、科、观看、功课、考古、客观。
Okay, so this is the first one. And you can see there's kind of some displaying error like this one. This one is 跑步. Okay. And next one, number 3. So read the following words aloud. Okay, so this is just like a reading exercise. And also we'll make a quick practice on this one. Okay. I will also play the recording and please listen and imitate. Okay.
3. 朗读下面的词语：老师、法国、美国、法语、你好、你们、早上。
Okay. So in this one, there are two Sandhi of the third tone, as you can hear, right? So the first one is 法语, this one. Actually, if you read the first syllable alone, this one is the third tone syllable, 法, right? But as you hear, it is read as 法语, and this one, 你好, right? If you read this first syllable, 你 alone, it is a third tone syllable, 你. But as you hear, it is read as 你好. So there's a like change in tones. Okay, so the Sandhi of the third tone. Okay, so that's all for the pronunciation exercise of lesson 4. And now let's move into the text. Okay, the text of lesson 4. Okay, there are 3 texts of lesson 4 from page 28 to page 31. Okay, and in this lesson, like the title shows, like, do you study French? So we will learn a kind of important and useful question form in Chinese, which is called yes or no question, right? So like in English, we say, do you study French? Then you answer with yes or no, right? So this is what we call the yes or no question. So in this lesson, we'll learn this one. It's very useful. And let's directly turn to the textbook, okay? So the part 2, texts. So the first part are the new words and expressions. So let's quickly go through, and we will stop by some important points to make some note to you, okay? So first, let's quickly go through all the new words and expressions of text 1, okay? Please listen to the recording and try to repeat with the recording for all the new words of text 1, please. Now let's begin.
第二部分，学习课文。课文1，生词。
留学生，他，学习，他们，们，一起，上课，说，
专名。
法国，汉语，泰国。
Okay, so these are the new words and expressions of text 1. Okay, so the first one, let's repeat again, is 留学生. 留学生. You can see this is a 3 syllables word, right? So in this word, it contains 3 syllables. 留学生, which means international student. Okay, student studying abroad. So like you. Right? So 留学生 means international student. And next one is a pronoun. 他. Okay, 他. So this 他, as in this written form, is written this way, shows by this Chinese character, which means she or her. Okay, but also this 他 with the same pronunciation can also mean he or him, but it's have a different written form. As you can see, number 4. 他们, so 他们. So this first Chinese character, just he or him. But the pronunciation is exactly the same between he and she in Chinese. Okay. So next one, to study, to learn. 学习, 学习. We try to make a phrase. So how to say to study or to learn Chinese. Then you can say 学习汉语. Right? 学习汉语. And next one, is a pronoun, a plural pronoun, they or them. Okay, so in Chinese we say 他们, 他们, and this word contains a suffix. Actually, it contains a suffix, which is 们. Okay, 们. So we'll stop a little bit here to make a note for you about this suffix. Okay. So the note 1 is a 们. You can see this is a neutral tone syllable without any tones, right? Just qing sheng. So it's a neutral tone, 们. Okay. So this 们 is a suffix attached to a personal pronoun or a noun to form a plural number. Okay. So it's kind of a suffix. Okay. So this suffix is always attached to a personal pronoun or a noun, and then to form like a plural number, so which is not one person, some persons, some people, so just not one person. Okay, so let's see these examples. Okay, so we have learned pronouns like 你, right? This 你 and 我. 你 means like you. Okay, and in Chinese this you is a singular. Okay, it's a singular, it's just one person. So, I mean you, 你 in Chinese is just one person, okay? And 我, which means I or me, okay? And 他, as I said just now, 他 means both he and she in Chinese. So, he and she in Chinese had the same pronunciation, but different Chinese characters. So for he, like we write in this way, okay? You can tell the difference by yourself. And for she, we write in this way. Okay, so they has different Chinese written form. I mean the Chinese character, but the pronunciation is the same. Okay, so 你我他 These are all singular pronoun. And then, like, we can attach this suffix to these pronouns to make a pronoun of like plural number. Okay. Like 你们, so this means you, but this is a plural. It's just not just one person, like you, some people, you, okay? And 我们, in English we can say we or us, right? Like compared to the I and me or me, okay? So 我们 means we or us. And similarly, 他们, okay? 他们, that means they or them. Okay, so compared to he and she, so 他们 is a plural pronoun, which means they or them. Okay,